Hey guys, it's Claire, and welcome to Oh Hey My Cat Died, the podcast that brings back face-to-face conversations. And for the first time in like 6, 7 months, I am face-to-face with one of my really good friends, Allison Catter.
Hey, I'm so excited to be here. I'm a big fan. I watch all of your episodes and all your vlogs. I literally, they're on in the background like all the time in my life, so I'm excited.
That because Mason will do a thing where after I've posted 10 videos, he'll do a marathon.
Yes, literally. That's exactly what it is.
Like, all
Yeah,
right,
we're
like,
obsessed.
let's watch Claire now.
No, all of your book talk content, I'm like, I'm there. It's my fave.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
we, on a separate note, do have to talk about that later.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Yeah, too many things happening in book talk
Yeah.
world. But my first question for you is, what inspired you to get into TikTok?
I love TikTok. It's everything. I love a get ready with me, and I like the whole, oh, we're gonna romanticize our lives and make it fun and like, I don't know, be aesthetic and all of that. So that's just kind of why I started making little videos. But then, honestly, when I got this job and I had to start getting up at 4 or 5 a.m., it really motivates me. Like if I know I'm filming a get ready with me, it's so much easier to get up at the crack of dawn and like actually get ready instead of just rolling out of bed 5 minutes before I have to leave. So it kind of helps me stay on top of my schedule, which is nice. And it's just fun. It's just
Yeah,
silly.
your editing is so good.
Oh, nuh-uh. I
Yeah,
like
no.
discovered
What do you
CapCut.
use?
I use CapCut.
Okay, like you it looks like you did it on like Premiere or something.
Stop. Thank you.
Yeah, so do you like to make TikTok similar to the like content that you watch?
Yeah, everything I watch is like, well, now it's getting into book talk a little bit. I'm like really entering that universe, but it's mostly like get ready with me's and lifestyle type fashion. You know, I love an OOTD. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. I mean, I didn't even get into TikTok until a year ago,
Yeah.
and things change on there. The algorithm is crazy. You don't know what's gonna come up. You don't.
No. Or what you'll get banned for. I see the most heinous things on TikTok, and then I posted one the other day that I was like, just a reminder. I don't know. It was something I said like hungover, and I got my whole account got flagged, and I was like, I have seen so much worse on this app. That is not fair. So
I've
whatever.
had in my span two videos flagged by TikTok. One of them was I made like a meme video of like the Tate McRae. She had like a tour
Mhm.
commercial that she made, and her butt was in it, but like obviously it was clothed, and so that
Yeah,
got flagged. And I was like, well, I guess I'm not gonna try to repost this and get my account taken down. But the
yeah,
other day I posted like a slideshow of pictures of like cute gifts to get people who read, and that got flagged. And I'm
yeah.
like, I don't know how a bookmark is a bad thing, but okay.
It's crazy. It's so unpredictable. And it's also like this is great, but there's so many girlies trying to get into it. It's very hard to like make your own niche and like go far. So, we'll see.
Yeah,
It's
but
just
out of all the platforms, it's the easiest to go viral on.
I know. That's what's weird. It's very weird. It's a strange app and it might be gone in 8 months, but
Hey, it's fine. Well, I guess you would have more insight than anybody else on that, but
yeah, and the insight is it's not. It's like not gonna get banned. I think what's gonna happen is some very rich white man will buy it and it will like change a little bit, but it will essentially stay the
do we
same.
want those rich white men watching us all the time?
No, but they do anyway. There's no
They do
stopping.
anyways, might as well get paid for
That's
it.
the thing. I might as well make a little off of it because it's gonna happen. So we'll see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I want to know, and then we have this in common. We both went to small Christian colleges, but what was it like going to a small Christian college, and how did that prepare you for what you do now?
That's a good question. I loved it. It's not for everybody, but I did really well in the environment that I was in. I love Asbury. I have a lot of good things to say about it. It's not a perfect school because no school's perfect, but you know, I did art and they have a great art program and I still keep in touch with all those professors. That was great. And then I think once I got to be an upperclassman and I was interested in government and leadership, it was really easy for me to like become student body president because I knew everybody. Like it was so small. Like my friend voted for me and I was pretty much good to go. So that was really like, you know, and if I had gone to like UK or a big state school, I don't think I would have like gotten very far in student government. So, and then like obviously with the Asbury revival, that kind of like jump started a whole different kind of like, I don't know, avenue for me just because that like my interviews regarding that provided me with some scholarships for like an internship, and so I wouldn't change anything about it. Like I said, it's not for everyone, but I really liked it. Obviously, I met Mason, which is everything. So yeah, it's a good fit for me.
But talk about what you do now and how you came to work in corporate DC within a year of graduating.
So I am a press assistant on the Hill. I work for the Senate side. I didn't know I wanted to do government until like my senior year of college, maybe like junior year and a half. I had no clue what I wanted to do. Yeah, like after a weird series of events, like mostly becoming student body president, but I landed an internship in DC with my like state representative, which is not hard to do. Like if you want an internship with your state rep, you don't need to be like you can do it. So I did that and I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. And then I had no job for months. I had no job for months. I had a degree. I had like a car. Like I could get to work. I could not get a job at a coffee shop. I couldn't get a job at a library. Like at one point I walked around the mall holding copies of my resume and I was like passing it out and never heard back from anyone. So eventually we had to look like outside of the place we were living, and when I took this job we made the move, but it's yeah, so it just kind of happened. I started applying for jobs on the Hill and I got this interview, and within like a week we had moved. So it was like wait, and then go.
It's a very inspiring story. I'm still 2 years post graduation, almost three, and
But
nothing.
that's and no one talks about it. It's so
I
normal.
know.
So many of my like super talented friends who are like punctual, who dress well, who are young emerging professionals, they're unemployed. I could I could go off about it. It's so weird. I don't understand it. I don't know why it's so. And everyone says, "Oh, everyone's hiring. Ever since COVID, everyone's hiring." And they're not.
Lies. Lies.
It's such lies. So,
No,
it's
we
really
need to definitely normalize that, and it definitely feels bad. Like I will say, being on
yes.
that side, and you're on that side as well, so you know how
Yes.
like it makes you feel like a loser, even though
Yeah,
you're not.
it does. It's horrible. It's awful.
You made a TikTok about not wanting to be one of those girls who got married right out of school. What changed about that?
I didn't want to get married at all. Like in high school, I went on so many first dates, and Mason was my first second date. And like as soon as my brother introduced us, he knew, I knew, like my whole family knew. They're like, "Oh, this is the guy that's gonna change her mind." And he did. So we dated all 4 years of college. And I don't know, I'm sure this is your experience in a small Christian school, but everyone meets and 6 months later they're engaged. And then 3 months
And that
later
didn't
they're
happen to
married.
me.
Huh?
That didn't happen to me.
Well, it happened like girlies be getting married so soon. They get married
No.
so soon. And I was like,
Mhm.
I'm not like, we are gonna wait until we graduate at the very least. Like, and so then we graduated in April, had like I had my internship over the summer. He moved back home. We did our own thing until August when we got married. So I did end up getting married pretty much right out of school, but I'm proud that we at least didn't get married in school. I'm like, okay, we at least beat that stereotype of the small Christian like university couple. But yeah, like and so much of our relationship was long distance. I was like, I don't want to wait anymore. That sucks. Like we should get married. So, and we were engaged for 2 years. That's a long engagement.
It was
But
a long engagement. I kept being like, finally, finally, finally.
I know. I know.
Just
Everybody was. They were like, "You're getting married, right?" And I'm like, "Yes. Yes. We're getting married." And we did. And the wedding day, in my opinion, was perfect, except it was really hot. But other than that, it was worth the wait.
yeah, it was really fun. I thought I wasn't gonna know anybody and not have any fun, but I didn't know anybody and I still had a good time.
Good. I'm glad. I love to hear that. I'm glad you were there. Oh my gosh, it was such a fun day.
No, what I think you guys do really, really well, and I'm living proof of this because I was originally one of Mason's friends, and then now you're one of my friends too, is you guys do a really good job of his friends are not just his friends and your friends are not just your friends. They're
Yeah.
kind of everybody's friends, but it's not, it's
Yeah.
like an unspoken, we don't talk about it, but now we're all friends thing.
Yeah, that's kind of true. I didn't really think about that. But and I think that's another pro of like us going to the same school was it was like very natural for us to just like intermingle with both of our friend groups. But I did actually think about that at the wedding. I was like, dang, he doesn't really have tables that he has to go to, and I have tables that I have to go to. Like we just kind of are, I don't know, friends with everybody.
No, at my table, it was like, oh, I met so and so first, but actually I hang out with so and so more.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, same.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that works for me. Yeah, that's
No,
funny.
yeah. For sure. Because I mean, like, I remember the whole like I was friends with Mason since 2017. So it's like I
Yeah.
remember you first getting introduced to like his friend group, like just oh the name Allison. Okay, okay, that's
Yep.
JP's sister. Like
Yep.
okay, and I'm like, oh wait, this is gonna be the this is like oh okay. Because he's like, we're trying to get Allison here. We're trying to get
Yes.
Andre. I'm like, oh okay, Mrs. Mason, got it, got it, got it.
Yeah. Noted. Okay. No, and it's so cute, Claire, because he was the one that was like, I really feel like you should start making TikToks. And I was like, no, that's so embarrassing. And the other day he was like, you're never gonna stop making your little TikToks, right? And I was like, no, I won't. He's so cute.
He's the biggest fanboy for sure. If
He
he cares
is.
about you, if he's your friend, obviously you're more
Yes.
than friends, but like in the sense where if he cares about you, he's like, you need to keep doing this. Like he'll text me
Yes.
every time I post a video, keep doing the book videos. They're great.
Yes.
I'm
He's
like,
a
yay.
supportive king.
Supportive king, exactly, exactly. But you did make a TikTok about not wanting certain small things to change after you got married, like having sleepovers with your friends. So talk about the things that have changed and the things that haven't changed in that regard.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like when you're dating and like especially when you get engaged, it's all anybody talks about. It's like how's wedding planning? Oh my gosh, your fiance, that's so crazy, which is fun. But then it also kind of makes you think like, is this what it's gonna be like when we get married? Like all I'm gonna talk about is getting married and like I don't know. This it's okay, but some girls like they make it their only personality trait that they're a wife, and that's okay if that's your vibe. But I was just kind of like, that's not my vibe. And like, I don't know. I hope that it doesn't have to become my vibe. And then like Mason and I, like Mason has friends that are girls and I have friends that are guys. And I was like, oh, so are they just gonna stop talking to me because like I'm married now? And thankfully that's not been the case. Like all of my friendships have stayed completely normal, as have his. So a lot of things that I was worried about socially, like thankfully just didn't happen. But things that are different, it's like, it's more fun. We go grocery shopping together and we like plan out our, oh, that's one thing. I eat 3 meals a day now. I am such a bad cook. Oh my gosh, Claire. I can like make a bowl of cereal and that's it. And now that I'm married to Mason, it's like 3 full meals a day. And like bougie. He'll make this like artisan BLT. I don't even know. All I know is I eat so much better now that we're married. So that has changed. And like we've been through a lot of change just as far as like we've moved twice now and like we live with my parents now, which is really like a fun change. It's just always like I don't know, it's been fun to do that with somebody else and like I don't know, like financially it's easier because you have two incomes and that's nice. And so all the changes really have been like for the better, which, before you get married, you hope that's the case, but you don't really know for sure like what it will be like. So it's pretty normal
Please
though.
tell me you guys still do your sleepovers because I would, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh, such slumber parties. Such slumber parties. Don't even worry about it. And it's fun too, because like I was also kind of worried that my unmarried friends would think like we can't be friends or like there'd be a weird, I don't know. I had a lot of weird like concerns about how people would act towards me, but like I hang out with my single friends all the time and we go out and Mason like doesn't always come. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. He'll go hang out with his friends. Like it's just nice because we're independent, but like we're very much together. So it's fun.
yeah, no, that's definitely how it should be and how I knew I was like, okay, this is a good relationship because a lot of my friends in the past have been like, all right, I'm in a relationship, bye. And I
Yeah,
never hear from them again.
literally never again. And that was my fear. I was like, that, like, how does that happen? It happens all the time. And it's always to the girl who should not be marrying the guy that she's with. You always know before they get married they should not, but they do it anyway. So,
No, I mean, I don't think I have talked to him any less, and obviously I talked to you more, which is
yeah,
great. So it's like, I'm glad that that didn't change for you guys.
it's like just be normal.
Be normal. I know you guys, anyone watching this who's in a relationship, you can be in that relationship, but also you can still hang out with the friends who have been there for you for
Yes.
years.
Yes, you owe them that. And don't you want to? Don't you want to keep hanging out with your friends? I don't
You
know.
can have the best of both worlds. You can Hannah Montana that shit. You really can.
Yes, absolutely. And I highly recommend it, in fact.
What is the scariest part about your job?
Oh my gosh. It's such a scary job. Not really. It's actually 99% of the time super easy, but then occasionally I'll have to send an email like to national news outlets. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if there's a typo in this, like I'm gonna read it in Fox later, or I'm gonna read it in Associated Press. So I just like have to proofread so much because I'm like, oh my gosh. Other than that, like, I don't know, DC at night is kind of scary. When I walk back from the office to the train station, I'm like, okay, this is okay. I mean, it's safe, but I don't know, it's kind of scary. It's just like, it's a very intense city. It's a very intense place. Like, commuters on the train are intense, and people who work in the Senate take themselves way too seriously, and they're very intense. But I don't, I'm very lucky with my office because my direct boss, she's 3 years older than me, and our whole, yeah, yeah, our whole office is pink. Like Taylor Swift calendar, disco balls, like we're very unserious. And that's how it's supposed to be. Like, guys, it's like I posted on my TikTok earlier. Congress is very silly. We can be acting silly. So for the most part, it's not very scary, but those emails that I have to send, that can be scary because sometimes I have typos in them, and that's really embarrassing. But
Have you ever like proofread something and then it goes out into publication and then something's wrong in it?
no, not yet. That hasn't happened yet. I've done like I've sent things out that the formatting is like off a little bit, but I can deal with that. My worst fear is saying like, oh, Senator Brown of and like the wrong state or like that kind of stuff. So I'm like fact checking constantly. I take like an hour to do a 5 minute task because I'm like, I can't make a mistake. I cannot make a mistake. So it's just kind of like intense in that way. But no, I haven't made a. Oh, this is a mistake that I made. This is like the biggest mistake I've made at work. So on my first day, this guy comes in and he's like, "Are you a runner?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, like I can be," because I'm thinking he needs me to run a stack of papers to a different office. And he goes, "Okay, perfect." This man signed me up for a 10-mile run that the office is doing. And I was like, "Oh no, no. Oh no, I thought you meant like wait." And then I was like, "No, I can't do that. Like I've gone on like 2 runs in my whole life. I can't do a 10-mile run." And he was like, "Well, if you drop out, you disqualify the whole group." And I was like,
Can you walk it?
in less than a month, I'm gonna run 10 miles. I don't know
You're gonna
how.
run it or you're gonna walk it?
Well, we have to do it in under 2 hours. Isn't that so
Listen, I'm training for a 5K and I'm trying to run for half of the 5K, get it done in under an hour, okay? Okay? I'm
it won't
slow.
go well. I'm like, well, then I'll just disqualify you the day of. Like, I'm not gonna make it. But that's been my biggest mistake so far. It's
Is there
gonna
like
be
a
interesting.
big muscular man who can carry you?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay,
that's what I need to do.
you get on somebody's back.
Yes. Ooh, that's not a bad idea. That
Yes.
might be seen as like an HR violation of some sort.
Hey, if you guys are equals, you're making the same amount, then it doesn't matter.
True.
But do you have any advice for any recent grads who haven't found work?
I would say like it sucks. And it like no matter your skill set or your experience, like for whatever reason, it's super hard to find a job right now. Something that really like made a difference for me, and maybe this is like duh. I like for months was sending my resume places and like not hearing anything back. And then I updated my resume and I put a headshot on it, and like immediately I got way better feedback. So like you just have to make it really hard to be overlooked. So like photo on your resume is good because you'll stand out. And then like instead of applying online, like if you go in person and you like hand your resume to somebody, I know I just said it didn't work for me, but it's still people were like, "Oh, it's really nice for you to like come in. We've never had someone like come in and inquire in person." That's a good practice, but I mean, you almost the advice I almost have to give because of my experience is like be ready to relocate if you have to. Because, like, you can only apply for so many jobs and then you have to look elsewhere, which is what I had to do. But it's rough out here. It's really hard.
Yeah, I'm
So,
glad the headshot thing worked for you. I had a boss that was helping me with my resume and she's like, "Don't put your headshot on here." And I'm like,
really?
"Yeah." So I
Oh,
guess different
weird.
places do different things.
Interesting. Yeah,
Maybe
I
if I
see.
go put a headshot on my resume, it'll work.
Go on there to see what happens.
Oh, the place I work at right now, I was like, I worked there before. They're gonna give me a job if I walk in with my resume, and that's what happened.
Yeah,
So
there you go. And that's the thing is it's like, it'll just take a while and you'll probably have to do some really sucky work. But I mean, even now, like obviously it sounds super cool that I work for Congress and it like is a very nice, good job. but I'm still like, I copy and paste. Like, that's all I do. I copy and
But you
paste. So
also get to say you can work for Congress.
it's true. No, it is very true. And I'm not trying to be like, oh, I hate
Yeah.
my job or like it's so bad. Like it's a very I'm very thankful for my job and it is a big deal. But like, just be flexible and be down to do the least cool part of the job.
So where can everybody find you?
Okay, I'm on Instagram, ALISON underscore CK. ACPERFATER Perfader. I didn't update my name on TikTok. It's okay. She's an independent woman.
She's an independent woman. It's fine.
I think that's it. Yeah. So
Yeah, you guys have to follow her on TikTok. She makes the most adorable TikToks and really watch Get Ready's with me, but I know you, so I'm like, oh, this is fun. It's like we're hanging out.
exactly. That's the vibe. It's like we're on FaceTime, just getting ready. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming onto the podcast. This was amazing.
Ooh, yes, thanks for having me. It was so fun. We need to like, I don't know, I almost said do it more often, but I guess it's a podcast, so you don't do like
You
repeat
can always
guests.
come back. You're always welcome back.
Okay. Okay, maybe yeah.
We'll
Call
do a
me.
book talk episode.
There you go. Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll plan
Okay,
that.
everyone, if this video gets 15 likes, Allison will come back and we'll talk
Down.
about books. So you need to
Deal.
like it.
Yes, please. Okay. Well, thank you so much for having me on.